Hi, my name is Nuri. I'm the author of the book Leading the Unknown. I'm going to start a channel and I wanted to just kick off by this video trying to explain why I wrote the book Leading the Unknown and also talk about some of the chapters that we have there, discuss, and also looking forward to all of your comments in the YouTube channel. I hope that you enjoy it, and most importantly, I hope that you get something out of it. The way that people are working and the way that companies are working is changing. I noticed this change a lot before the pandemic. So I've been working and I started to get passionate about gig, remote work, hybrid work, and freelancing world a lot before, way before the pandemic. Way before the pandemic, as my book Leading the Unknown indicates, companies and people were interviewed and they were clearly stating that the people wanted to go to remote work, hybrid work, flexible work, working from anywhere. And also companies wanted to be able to access talent globally rather than trying to get people locally where there is a lot of competition between the companies to get the people. Having said that, my passion and my curiosity started to increase, and I did a lot of research knowing that really 100% that the future is going to be hybrid, remote work, and also flexible work. And gig and freelancing is going to take a big, very important component of it. And when you look at the companies that are being successful now, that are being agile, that are being able to get talent anywhere, anytime, leverage the talent, and then let the talent go for projects to come, those companies are being really agile and successful. That is what really matters. Agility, getting to talent. When you look at the full-time employment world, you take someone because you need someone. You do lots of paperwork and contractual work. Maybe that person that you hired for a specific work, that person is not needed for that work anymore because there's automation, there are cheaper resources or whatsoever. And then you need to find a place for that person, right? And the same person also starts to get bored because the company is not able to give that person kind of anything to do unless you just get a lot of trainings and etc. and etc. I've been working in a Fortune 100 company more than 20 years. And my work in the last 6 years has been, how can we democratize work? How can we bring work to the people rather than people going to work? And on my journey, I learned a lot. I had a lot of assumptions about remote work. I had a lot of assumptions on, hey, why all the companies are not just hiring freelancers, letting the people work remotely. But in the world before, we are not ready technologically to make sure that people who are accessing remotely company resources, that access is really secure, because there are many legal and also confidentiality implications when someone from his or her house or a gig worker from somewhere else in the planet is just trying to access some resources and get access to the resources of a company. But now technology evolved since many years. There are so many companies that are providing secure remote access connections. You can restrict the access to certain data, certain websites, certain intranets to the people. And you can also monitor and control all of those kind of access, which means that now when I look at and do make a lot of research about companies, I'm seeing that the most agile and successful companies are really going to first get gig workers and freelancers. Second, what they do is they provide remote work to their employees if they're a full-time employee, because all of my book and my channel is all about remote work, gig work, and freelancing. So, and also we'll touch a little bit about a hybrid. And I'm going to share everything that I learned during the course of a series of videos that I want to shoot. They are not professional videos. It's more like my experiences moving forward. So when you look at corporates that have, or companies, it can be also small companies that have full-time employees. Those full-time employees, especially after the pandemic, because the pandemic has been really a catalyzer, especially post the pandemic, they don't want to go back to work. And they're looking for companies and organizations that can provide them with especially hybrid or remote work capabilities. Because only commuting, and I'm going to talk about the commuting and sustainability, the relation between how commuting negatively impacts our environment, our ecosystem, and etc. even that commuting part is really being tough for the people because the population is growing, because traffic jams, because of the facilities that don't exist in many rural areas. People really, really want to work from home as much as possible. Being able to do what I'm doing now when I'm not working, I just shoot a video. And if I want to take some time off for me to do something personal, which is something that I'm doing now, you just take time off from your company that you're working, and you manage your time, making sure that your corporate obligations are also met, and you're not like failing to your corporate, but you can manage your time and how you manage your time. And what really matters for the companies are really the outcomes, right? I'm based in Spain, and Spain is a pretty traditional country still in terms of work, looking at the future of work, making sure that the workspaces are really attractive for talent, university students, they are graduating students. And when I look at Spanish companies that I've worked with locally some years ago, and I know people that are working in Spanish companies, I see that there is still kind of a, hey, how can I control the people? If I'm there as a manager, then everyone needs to be there because I need to check, I need to observe, I need to control. I don't trust those people so much. So there is, yes, a component that, technology cannot replace face-to-face, but there are really companies that I know that are really, really obsessed about the manager needs to see everyone working. If the manager doesn't go home, then the employees also don't go home. They wait until the manager is gone. And this is the current mentality that I still see in many of the Spanish traditional companies. And those companies are condemned to stay with people who are not really competent, because competent people are going to leave those organizations to go to organization where the work is flexible, working hour is flexible. From where you work, it doesn't matter, because people now are really waking up to say, hey, you know what? I have one single life to be lived and to be enjoyed. I cannot be the slave of any manager because he or she doesn't trust me. I need to make sure that my competencies are good and I'm bringing the outcomes. And management sees that even I'm working from home or from Mars or from wherever or from the seaside, I'm capable of doing my job and my productivity is really increasing very well. So all of those topics, and of course, how people in the new and the future of work, how managers will need to become really leaders. This is the core of my book, Leading the Unknown. So there is something which is the fact and reality that the world of work is changing, and people, how agile and modern companies are looking at work, how employees and talented people are looking at how they work and where they work. This is kind of very important, and we are going to cover all of those topics. But then we are also going to cover the topic of, hey, in this ever-evolving landscape of work, small businesses, big businesses, it doesn't matter, especially people who are using technology, how leadership is evolving and it's shifting from management to real leadership, and why it is so important for companies to stop doing the silly things on management assessment programs, because it's so easy to pass through a management assessment program. You wear a mask, you are politically correct, and that's it. You just pass it. I've seen it, I lived it, I passed it. It doesn't mean that I wore a mask, but most of the people wear that mask. And companies need to change the way that they select their next leaders if they really want to be successful in the upcoming 3, 5, 10 years, so that they select the right people to be able to lead, not manage, but lead, inspire, motivate, make great performance evaluation, and look at the people, how they connect with the people, how they create those connections with their workforce. And also looking at gig and freelancing, because a standard company, they wouldn't work with gig workers and freelancers. And the psychology, the interactions that you have with gig and freelancers, the needs that they have is completely different. If companies are moving to gig and freelancing slowly, like a hybrid workforce, the people that will need to lead those people, that workforce, also need to change dramatically. We're going to talk about all of this. It's going to be really, really amateur, non-professional at all. There is no intent for me to make money out of those videos or whatsoever. It's just that I have 30 plus years of experience in managing teams, local teams especially, and then in the last 6 years, remote teams, hybrid teams, high-performing gig and freelancing teams. And again, my passion is about teaching and trying to able to expose what I learned with all of those mistakes and the learnings. And also, there's nothing right or wrong here. So I'm not claiming that what I'm saying is going to be 100% right. Possibly in different environments, things are going to be slightly different. And any of your comments, any of your contributions and asks for videos, it is going to be highly appreciated. This is my first ever YouTube video. I hope that you enjoyed the introduction and looking forward to see you in the next ones. Bye.